we are. Look, we are here. I'm excited. Guys, welcome to episode 16 of the Christian Vasquez Champ Life podcast. That's right. And today I got a special guest. He's one of my boxers, one of the trainers at my gym, Strong Island Boxing. He's very eccentric in the ring. He's very different. When you see him box, he's exciting. He brings the Ginger Warrior style. He'll tell you himself. My boy, Samuel Iadicicco, the Ginger Warrior. Welcome to my show.
What's happening? Thank you for having me on, Christian. I really appreciate it, man.
No, my pleasure, man. Give a little background on how I met you and why you're on the show. You came to my gym, I'm going to say a year ago, right after where they allowed us to open up.
Yeah, right after the lockdowns ended, I started gym searching. Yeah, I was looking for something, because I was just like, I had been training all throughout COVID. I had a heavy bag given to me by like my previous coach. He said, "Yeah, take this heavy bag. I don't need it. I'm gonna get another one soon anyway." So I was like, "All right, I might as well take as much gym equipment as I can." He gave me a double end bag as well to use. He gave me some other like weights and stuff like that, and I just kind of set up shop in my garage. I got a rack out in my backyard. I was running every day, jumping rope in the garage every day, shadow boxing, just the same like routine that I had been doing because like I didn't really know anything else. I just established this nice routine, and I just started building momentum up. I had a great win, very dominant win, and then everything started like it was like right in February. I had a really great win. I just started getting some momentum going with everything, and then it all got closed down. And so I said, what can I do? And I was like, you have a few options, really. At the end of the day, you can be like, oh, I must just let this pass, and there's nothing I can do, or you can be like, oh, this is gonna pass. There's nothing I can do. I might as well make the most of it, And I said, well, I'm stuck here. I might as well continue doing like continue the mission, which was to fight, train, and get the gloves eventually. That was like what my initial goal was. I didn't even get into it to be a boxer. I wanted to just like fight. I was doing like kickboxing and stuff first, believe it or not. Right. And then I started boxing because it was like there was a boxing gym right there. There was no kickboxing gym that was like training fighters really like legit. It was mostly like there's like cardio kickboxing out here. If I wanted like a real like kickboxing gym, you'd have to go like deep out west. I think there's like one in Belmont. Yeah. That's like one of the only known legit kickboxing gyms around there. I mean, might be a few out there, but I don't know about. But anyway, I'm gym hopping. I'm just trying to complete the mission that I set out to do.
This is post-COVID when you're like trying to get back into the gym. Yeah. Into a gym.
Yeah, this is like right after. As soon as those lockdowns were lifted, I was like, about time. Like, thank God. Yeah. I remember it was about November of 2020, I want to say. Okay. Where like things started like easing up a little bit. And I just got back from Florida. I took a little trip to Florida because I said, I didn't want to fly there. I drove there because I wanted to take a little trip, Yeah. I was locked up all fucking year, so I wanted to
get away.
I can swear, right?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, thank God.
This is we're adults,
And so the first place I ended up at was AVM. I ended up at Atlantic Veterans Memorial with Murphy. Mm-hmm. And that was an interesting time.
Explain.
Well, he just kind of like he was a little eager to get me on board right away. So that was like a red flag for me at first. I was like, oh, this guy wants me like too bad. I was like, there's no way there's like he's got people begging for him to train him if I'm like he needs me that bad. Some random person he just met, And so and on top of that, he gave me like used car salesman vibes a little bit. Yeah. Especially because like he closed down when I went there with him. Yeah. And it was like a month in. He like closed down, didn't tell anybody anything, and the gym was closed for like over a month. I'm going there like night after night when it was supposed to be open. Nothing. Right. I'm like, this is like the perfect tale of like you can't like give up. Yeah. I took that as a sign like, all right, this is throwing something in my face, and I'm like, if I was in the ring and I got something thrown at me like this, I can't just sit there and take it. I gotta get up. I gotta do something about it. I gotta keep going.
Great way to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what else is out there? And I had been talking to Jess. I knew Jess from back at Vargas Boxing. Mm-hmm. She was probably like one of the first people I sparred, actually. Right. Yeah, and it was like, I was like, how'd
that go?
She took it easy on me, thanks, Jess. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was so nervous, and I was so like stiff, and I was just like
brand new,
fast, and I knew she could have did something more, but she didn't. Right.
Jess is unique. She's a unique boxer, female boxer for sure.
Good, man. She's getting slick. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's slick. Yeah. she wasn't as slick then. She was a bit different then.
Right.
You know, like we both come a long way with this stuff.
Absolutely. You guys grown so much. I mean, since I met you guys.
Yeah.
You know, substantially. You guys look great. So go ahead. So you went from Vargas, right? You said.
Yeah. I had known Jess since Vargas, and I had actually come here during COVID for a lesson with Jess. I remember she was like, "Yeah, I do like personals here at the gym for like no more than an hour at the time. Like we're trying to keep it low. We're not trying to get caught doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe that? It sounded like it's like some speakeasy stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like we were like in like the 1920s, and it was like, no, none of this now. You can't be out here trying to work out and get yourself right.
Yeah.
You know. And I was like,
Ridiculous.
I can't. No, it was ridiculous. And I was like, I appreciate that. So I came here and I got that lesson with her. Just really a workout, really.
Right.
I felt good to get pushed by a coach again. And then I always kept this place in the back of my head, and I was like, well, like, there's really no other it's either this or heavy hitters. And I was like, I've been to heavy hitters before, and I was like, I'm not Joe Smith Jr. I don't get to go there with like the big dogs and train on my own time.
Yeah.
You know, which is like amazing. You know, that's like so cool that he's like, we have a Long Island champ training right there at that gym.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't really know there's like no fighters coming out of that gym.
Right.
You know, it's mostly like just people there to work out.
Right.
At least that's what I got from going there the few times I went.
Okay.
And I was like, so what else? Like, what are my options? I knew there was one in West Hampton. I knew there was some in Montauk, but nothing else. And I said, let me go see what's over here.
Last but not least.
You know, yeah, basically over here. And I said, I always remembered this place. I was like, it was a very clean place. It was very like the equipment looked great there. So I was like, you know what? What do I got to lose? Like it said, owner's a 2-time Golden Glove champ. I was like, well, that's all right. So at least like some like legitimate information there. I know that you've been in the ring and you know what to do. You know how to train for a fight.
Right.
So at least there's that. Like I'm not the kind of person that would even need like this elite like super top notch, only trained top tier world level fighter trainer. You know what I'm saying? I just need someone who knows how to prepare for a fight.
Right.
And I knew I could fill in the blanks right there.
No doubt.
You know, and that's what I came here. And I came here and I really enjoyed the environment at first. You know, I say at first like I don't still enjoy the environment, but no, like I can't. At first impression, I was like, oh, this is like wonderful. Like,
yeah.
Like this is such a nice place. I can come here and train. I got kind of worried that I was going to be looked at like I was trying too hard.
Right.
And then I saw that there was other fighters here, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
so
no
I'm not.
doubt.
And it was right around the time when you guys were getting ready to go to the Golden Gloves for Carolina. It was like right after Jess's like first fight back after COVID, and I just missed that one. I just had found out about it like a week before, and I was like, I'm not getting ready for a fight. My first fight back from COVID with a week of preparation. I was like, I'll wait till the next one comes up. You know? Now I have it in my mind that a fight's coming up, and I'm mentally preparing myself for something. I'm getting war ready. You know.
Mm-hmm. You were here for a while before the North Carolina Golden Gloves.
Yeah, I was here for like maybe like 2 months, 3 months before that. 3 at least. A little while.
Yeah. Because the North Carolina Golden Gloves were in May of this year.
Yeah, you're right.
You were here for like 6 months, dude.
Yeah, because AVM shut down in January, and I think I came here probably like in February.
Oh, so February, March, April. All right, so if that's when you came here, you were here like February. You were here like 3 months, but you were here dedicated. You were here all the time.
Yeah, every day. I was like, oh my god, this is the best. I have a gym
sparring every other day, at least twice a week.
Yeah,
you know,
you should.
And I saw you growing here, like from day one to like a month later. I saw development. 2 months later, I saw aggression. I saw more slickness. You were very accurate. You were actually stepping to them a little bit more.
Yes,
you know,
so
you started
I was getting on my front foot a bit better.
Yeah,
instead of like relying too much on my moving backwards and away.
Yeah, and I remember the day I had a conversation with you, and I was like, "Listen, you got to start snapping your shots and step into them." And you were like, "All right." You gave me this look, like, "Okay." Yeah. And then after that, I started seeing a change in your whole demeanor in the ring. It became more attack, but with the slick style. And I was like, yo, you're really growing. You're really doing your thing. So once the North Carolina Golden Gloves came, I said, I want you to be in this tournament. Mm-hmm. And you were like, let's do it.
Yeah, I was down because I had heard Golden Gloves, and I said, this is what I was waiting for. This was the mission. Yeah. The mission was get Golden Gloves. And like, honestly, I haven't thought past that. Like, I really just want to be like, it was like a dream of mine. Like, I started so late in this. I started like 19, like 20 maybe. Fine. I started getting consistent with it. Mm-hmm. And like, I knew, like, I watched all these videos online at kids that like did it since they were like 6 or 7. And I was like, geez, man, like, I don't even look like the 6 or 7 year olds that are doing this. What hope do I have? And again, that voice talked to me, said like, but like, you could think like that. You could say like, oh, these kids have been doing it since then. But maybe you could bet on yourself. Mm-hmm. You could really push to that limit. You can go to a place that like anybody can't mentally get to. You know,
Yeah.
you could unlock something and just elevate yourself to a place. And I really like now I'm like screw that thought. Like I don't care who you are. I gotta think I have a chance. If anything, if more than a chance, like the odds are in my favor. I gotta always believe the odds are on me. I can't ever count myself out. And that's like the war in my mind is like can you do this, or like should you, like are you capable of doing this? Are you delusional? Are you crazy? Maybe even like a little bit. I gotta be a little crazy to be doing this kind of stuff and thinking this way, or is the power of belief really that fucking strong? And you gotta just like commit 100% to that belief and not even let the thought of like anything that could tear you off that like straight line to your destination. You can't let anything get in the way of that. Even like that, like, is this really me? You can't have that imposter syndrome thing where you're like, am I really the person I think I'm creating right now? Like, I get deep with it like that, man. Like, I'm really thinking like this is who I'm trying to make. But if I really commit to this person, then they're going to be just as real as the person I was before. And then from there, like the possibilities are limitless, you know?
Preach.
And I want to live in that. I want to live in that instead of living in like, oh, I couldn't do it. I should have started younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to live in that. Even if like I burn up in flames at the end, like I want to go down in flames.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
I want it to be by my path.
Yeah. And what you're saying is so powerful because, like you said, there's kids that started when they were 6, right? But they always say, talent that doesn't work hard loses.
Yeah.
People with talent that work hard, they win. People that don't have talent but work hard, they beat the kids that have talent but don't work hard.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when you start. It's how hard you work and how much you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And I totally believe in that. I always try to preach to the fighters here like, yo, you know, you are your worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could be your worst enemy. Or you could be your biggest fan. You know,
cheerleader.
Pick one. You know, and go off that. And you broke it down perfect just now. And it's so true, man. I'm glad you feel that way because that's what makes champions.
Exactly.
That mindset.
That's what I want to embody. And like even if I never become like if I get the title champion, I don't care. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think of Muhammad Ali. Like what makes him the greatest, man? Like I don't know. He's just the greatest. Yeah. It's because he said it. It's because he really believed it more than that.
Yep. You could design who you want to be.
It's a beautiful thing. What's it? I don't know if you remember Pete Latore. He fought at Sheamus.
Yeah. Pete's awesome. He's from Westbury. Great kid. And he's a hard-working kid.
Yeah. You know, I met him one time and I talked to him right before another fight where he knocked another dude out cold. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was talking to him and I was just like how do you like do it, man? And he's just like he was so chill too. That's the scariest thing about him. He's exactly what I imagine a boxer is. He's just so like,
yeah,
hey, what's up? Yeah. But like I know in his mind is so alive. You can just tell in his eyes.
Oh hell yeah!
And like he told me something that I'll never forget. This might have changed my life. I'm still in the process of trying to understand this. He said he gets up every day and he writes down in a notebook, "I am the greatest," 10 times. And I was like, "You do that every day?" He's like, "Yeah."
There's a power in that.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up every morning and I stare myself in the eyes in the mirror and I say, "I'm the greatest. Mm-hmm. I'm the greatest." Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do it every day like that. I'm gonna get up every day and say that to myself. Mm-hmm. You know, so that I'll make it so that one day it's the same thing. Like they won't even know why I'm the greatest, just because like I am. Deal with it.
That's it.
You know,
that's it.
Feels so good to say that.
Yeah, no, it's true. What you say, what you are. What you say about yourself is who you are. You know, people walk around with depression because they tell themselves they're sad. Mm-hmm. They tell themselves they're broken. They tell themselves I'm weak. They tell themselves I can't get past this hurdle. That's why. But see, when people flip that switch and they're like, I could overcome. I can do this. Mm-hmm. It might take a little bit, but I'm willing to crawl before I walk. Yeah, and I'm willing to walk before I sprint. But there's going to be a day they see down the road that they're sprinting. So it's all mindset, you know. And I love this podcast because I love preaching mindset. And I like having people on here like you that have that mindset. Mm-hmm. And you get to, you know, project it to everyone else that's watching. You know, because that's what people need. People need a very powerful mindset.
Exactly. Like, I don't just say a bunch of like nonsense because like, you know, it's fun, it's zany, and it adds character to something that I want. It's because like I'm trying to just like I believe in leading by example. I'm trying to show you guys like it really is just a mindset. Like I say, A1, no steak sauce, you know, because like you A1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when people say something's A1, that's like some slang stuff. You're A1, you're top of the line.
That's right.
You know, so I say like you're A1, no, not the steak sauce, but you're A1.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's funny, it's stupid, it's a little silly, but like you got like I'm still trying to like let that sit in their minds. Like you the top.
Yep.
You know, I want that energy to sit with them. That like they on top, they the best.
Yep.
You know, because like I want to see that everywhere. I want to see that everywhere I go. I want to see everyone like that. I want to eradicate this like I can't because of a mental block.
That's right.
Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's a mental block. And I've been through it. I go through it still. You know, you are not depressed. You deal with depression. You don't be it.
Right.
You know, and by saying I am depressed, you're invoking something you shouldn't invoke on yourself. You know, your subconscious is listening. This little part back here, and it's the same thing with I am the greatest. Don't say I am depressed because then you're gonna think that all the time. You know, I'm dealing with depression. I'm fighting depression. I say I'm fighting it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with this like, should I just be hopeless and like sit down and die, or should I like keep getting up and fighting?
Rise
you know,
up.
that's like a very human struggle I feel, and a very real struggle that I deal with in my boxing too. You know, that's one thing that's helped me through boxing. It's like I've always been able to face adversity in it, and that translates into my mind too. Like how I box out there is how I'm thinking in my brain too.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
When we went to the Carolinas, you shocked me because I knew you were good. Yeah, I knew you were good. We never really had a competition with you. I think this was your first fight with us.
That was the first one with you guys. That Carolina fight, man.
And you know, sparring here, you look solid. I was
timid though. I'm very timid in sparring usually.
Okay, but there was moments that I seen that tiger. You know what I'm saying? I seen that lion.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's gonna do good. I had all the confidence in you. I was excited to see you perform on a stage. And I just want to let everybody know that you fought your first two. You fought the first night, and you went to war with a sharp, fast, strong boxer from the Carolinas, and you won.
Yeah.
And you put on the show, and I was like,
bad,
I was like,
man.
yo, I thought you were gonna win the whole thing.
I believed myself that I was gonna win the whole thing. I was telling myself right before I stepped in that ring how I'm gonna win this.
You went toe to toe, like you moved very well. You slick, but then you were sitting sideline, like you were pushing the fight. It was beautiful.
Yeah, gotta.
And then
sprint at him.
Then you went to the semifinals. Right, this was the semifinals to go to the finals.
Yeah, it was the semifinals and the finals.
And you went to war with this kid too. It was a very close fight. But you showed me a side of you that was like you were willing to do whatever it took.
Yeah, he was a bit sharper than me at the time, but like if I fought him as I was, like, for the fight over here at Strong Island, I probably would have had him. You know what I mean? Because I was in a different place then.
Well, you fought a great fight that night, but I just wanted to let people know, like, you're not just a talker. You do it. You perform. And I look forward to. I know you're coming off. You have an injury right now.
Yeah, right here in my neck.
Your neck. We had the chiropractor. Look at it. You're getting some treatment, but
yeah, it's getting better too. It definitely is. The actually for the first time ever, like that little bump on the vertebrae of the neck is swollen. Is gone down. The swelling's not
good,
like prevalent anymore, and I'm like
giving it some rest.
I'm just relieved. It was there for like so long. And it had me so worried that nothing was going to happen with it, and I might be deteriorating.
Yeah.
I was like really worried about that. That's what my biggest fear was, that the vertebrae was already like grinding and like deteriorating on me.
Right.
And that was
you don't
like
want
irreversible.
You don't want that to happen. Good thing you were proactive now. How many treatments have you had so far on it?
With Mark?
Yeah.
I've gone 3 times.
Good.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Great. Yeah. He gives me the electroshock therapy, cracks it and massages it so well. Oh my God. He knows exactly what, he holds my neck in like this way, pulls it and just irons out my neck. I'm like,
yeah, it's important for athletes to, take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Recovery is very important. And, fixing ailments before they get worse is super important. Like if you would have treated that a while ago, it might not have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
So
after Carolina, I should have started treating it, man.
Yeah.
Right there, I should have started treating it.
But it's okay.
I knew I should have.
It's all good. You're going to be fine. You're going to be back in that ring. So we're missing this tournament, the Metropolitans.
Yeah.
It would have been great for you to be in it, but
it would have been a great one, man.
The next one is, how many fights do you have now?
I got 8 fights, man.
8. So 2 more you could have went to the Nationals. We could have just went in Louisiana. You could make the team and have New York USA Boxing Metro pay for you to go.
Oh my God, what?
But either way,
That's
if you had
legit.
10 fights, you could have just went, paid your own way, and gave yourself a shot to compete for the nationals. But the next tournament after that is the Ringmasters.
Okay.
If they don't bring back the Golden Gloves, the Ringmasters will still be the replacement tournament.
Okay, good.
And then you win that, you go to the National Golden Gloves. Oh no, you'll be novice still.
Yeah, I was
entering
gonna
that.
say.
So that's fine. You win that tournament, and you become champion.
Yeah, I want that. I want to have that under my belt, at least in my lifetime. I want to be able to tell like my grandkids that.
You will. You will. You absolutely will. What are you gonna fight at 141?
Yeah, 140. I'm staying at 141. I think it might be the best weight for me, for just like how I'm built.
Yeah. No, you got a great size for 141.
Yeah.
Any boxers that you look up to or you watch?
Oh my God, yeah. There's a bunch. I mean, I mentioned before Muhammad Ali. I loved watching him move in the ring. Obviously, I've studied a lot of Floyd. There's just something about watching some guy never be able to get hit and get out of all these situations. I was like, how did he do it?
Yeah.
Then I had to watch some Roy Jones because, again, just knew how to like be in a good position at every point in the ring. Never disadvantaged himself until like late in his career when he got a little softer and he was like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I think he just really didn't want to die.
Yeah.
He saw like the effect of everything he had done to all the people he knocked out like that, and he was like, wow, I really ended some people's careers. Like,
Yeah.
with blunt force trauma to the head. He's like what if that happened to me?
Yeah.
I think he just grew a conscience and it got him. I watched a lot of Bud Crawford, obviously. He's one of the big dogs right now. Tyson Fury, man.
Mm-hmm.
Long, lanky guy who's like awkward. I have to watch him because he's like the example for me.
Example, not only skill, but his mindset is
Yes.
untouchable.
Yeah, he's another one of those, like, he just doesn't even allow the thought of doubt to enter his mind. But he is also his greatest enemy. He's dealt with a lot. Apparently, he's dealt with a lot of shit outside the ring too.
You know what's great about that? When you face that rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
You already been there, and you know how not to get there again.
Mm-hmm.
So when you already climbed up from such a dark place, and you're on top, you know you don't want to go back down there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're so powerful at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
If that makes
like
sense.
you get to a point where you can't get back down. You've already elevated yourself so high.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a thing. That
It's
you
not.
can
He's
even
not
be brought
fearful.
down.
He's not fearful of being down there because he knows how it feels. He's like, nah, I can't be that. I can't be that guy again. You know.
Never. You can't be no chump. You can't be no chump like that.
But now he's world champion. He's fighting this Saturday. We're having a fight party here.
That's right. Yeah, I want to come there for that. I'm gonna bring my friends too.
Yeah,
Like 2-3 friends with me.
It's gonna be great. He's fighting Wilder. It's the third time they're fighting. He won the last one. Who do you think's gonna win?
I think Tyson's taking it again. I think he's got Deontay's number. I think Deontay's gonna perhaps be a little too worried about his new training and trying to make the adjustments in a major, like, don't take the big fight if you're trying to apply new methods in training. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get a test dummy first. Get another like tin can to walk through, and then see how it worked, and then go back to the guy that completely like ruined you. Yeah, I wouldn't say try to, like, because it sounds like he's just running laps in Wilder's head. He's trying to build a whole style against beating him now.
Yeah.
With the guy that Fury used to bully around in sparring and stuff like that, whatever his name is. I forgot his trainer's name. But he's got personal beef with Tyson Fury. Apparently he like popped his eardrums or something like that in sparring one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's his trainer's name? I forgot. But
yeah, he's got issues with him. So it sounds like Fury's running laps in Wilder's head.
oh yeah.
And it's just like he's either gonna get too caught up trying to work with this new style, and it not working, he's gonna get defeated that way, or he's gonna be like, man, fuck this at some point if he can't get it to work, and go back to his old ways, and then he's just gonna, he doesn't learn anything then.
Yeah.
Tyson's just gonna make the adjustment and just do what he did last time. Press forward, put him on the back foot, and bully him.
Yeah. Last fight, Fury definitely embarrassed him. But in training right now, Wilder, he definitely looks stronger. He looks faster. He looks like he's committed. He's in it, and he's talking a whole lot. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Your life is on the line. Your life is on the line.
I love the way he talks.
I'm like, damn, Wilder. He's taking it there. Wow.
He preaches like every time he talks. He's like,
Yeah.
do you understand?
Yeah.
I am gonna kill this man.
Yeah, he's crazy. Well, we'll see, man. I'm taking Fury again. Obviously, I think he's gonna win. So
I think the experience will trump it again.
yeah.
Deontay started so late in his life. He started like 22 or something like that.
But kudos to him, man. You know, starting late, become a world champion, and
Right?
and be, you know, getting to the top of the boxing world. Good for him.
That's the American dream right there. He really did it for us.
Yeah, he's a big boy too. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He took advantage of, you know, his God-given gifts of
That reach, that power, everything.
Mm-hmm.
His unorthodoxy too, if anything, it plays a big factor in how he approaches people and how they perceive him too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's that. And you know, like we were saying, who you look up to boxing wise, and you said a couple fighters. Anybody else?
No, I mean, like, there's a few that I've definitely watched, but none that, like, stylistically. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Ray Leonard, I love his jab. Everything about that. I was like, all right, just jab like Sugar Ray Leonard, and it should work.
Right.
Because, like, he would just be like, pow, pow, pow.
And your jab does work. When you use it like a piston, your jab's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very effective.
I try and make
Stick
it like
with
that,
it.
You know?
Let's stick with that. Let's keep that going. Because you don't have to get hit. If you keep that jab like that nice stick,
yeah, it's
no one's gonna touch
tool.
you.
It keeps me in the game longer.
Mm-hmm.
It does, and it ensures that, like, it's more smart too. It's just a smarter way of doing things.
Absolutely.
Using the reach. Like, why would I even want to try and make it a close fight when I have that reach?
Yeah.
It's just not worth my time. But you know, the dog in me just wants to, like, I want to just keep throwing punches and never have to stop. That's like, if that was like an option, I think I would just keep doing that.
You
like,
did that your last fight.
I did. I
was like, yo, this guy's wilding out. But let me tell you, got fight of the night. The crowd loved you. The crowd was on their feet.
That was
right. They were going crazy.
I felt that the roar of the crowd in my chest. That was something else.
That's actually, is it on YouTube?
I don't think the fight's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on the Smoker Talk.
Yeah,
it's on their
Talk,
channel.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see one of his last fights, go to Smoker Talk, type it in YouTube, type it in Facebook, and you could try to probably find that.
Please watch that fight. Please go on Facebook, go to Smoker Talk, and watch that fight, because I need to know. I need to know if that judging was done correctly, because I've watched the fight now. At first, I was not bitter about the loss. I was not. I never really was. I'm still not. Because it's past. There's no point in getting mad about that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I watched the fight like 2-3 times after the fact, and at first I was like, that's whatever. And then I watched it a few times, and I was like, hold on. I was like, what fight were they watching? I was like, there was this point in the third round where the ref broke us up and told him not to put his head down. He let us go back to it. I did a feint, and then I shot, went bomb, bomb, bomb. I landed all 3 punches, and he holds on to me. His mouthpiece falls out of his mouth, and the ref broke us up. I thought I was getting an 8 count. If you watch the video, I turn around like I'm going to the neutral corner for my 8 count.
Yeah. And
I turn around, they're letting him put his mouthpiece back in.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Give him the 8 count.
Yeah.
He just took like 4 shots to the head. He's dazed. And then the rest of the round, if you watch the third round, he's just holding me, and I'm just letting go. He doesn't land a single punch on me in the third round.
Yeah.
So to be like, and they gave him a unanimous decision too.
Wow.
I thought it was a split. It was unanimous, and I was like,
yeah. So let them be the judge.
Yeah, let you guys be the judge.
Do you remember the date of that fight?
Nah, it was 2 months ago.
No, it was longer than that.
September, no, it was October. It was in July.
It was in July. So
yeah, it was in July. It was like the third week in July. Third week in July.
Okay, so look up that fight on third week of July on one of their videos. You'll find it.
Yeah, in the archives on their website, if you go to smokertalkingboxing.com, they have like a whole archive of everything that they have done.
They do a great job. Shout out to Dave. You guys do a great job.
Phenomenal, man. Commentary's top notch on that too, yo. Like they always be weak with the commentary. They just be talking about stuff sometimes. I'm like, what? What are you guys talking about?
They're funny.
No, they are.
So, Sam, outside of boxing, we touched on that. Everybody knows you're a boxer. You're serious about what you do. Yeah. Outside of that, what other things are you into in outside world?
I'm into how this world got so upside down.
Yeah.
I'm into all that kind of stuff.
Really?
I got into like what a lot of people would call they would call them conspiracies.
Yeah.
Some of them I adhere to. Some of them I like disregard. Some I take a little piece from, and I'm like, maybe this could be something that's a little more true than like what I hear. But either way, I think a lot of people can agree that on either side of things, stuff just stops adding up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That never satisfies me. It's just the fact, no matter where you look, something stops adding up at some point. The trail goes cold, and it never does it for me. I'm always like, that should be something that has a more satisfying ending.
Now, explain anything in recent times that has you feeling that way. Any particular incident or circumstance that's going on?
There's a few. Yeah, there's like there's someone called the plandemic. I don't know if it was planned. I think it might have been, like, as some would say, it was like a possible lab leak with what happened. And I knew about the lab like from the get-go. I had heard about this guy named Chris Lieberstein who had been arrested. He had been indicted on charges. He's a Harvard professor who got indicted on charges for falsifying the identification of these students from China. He claimed that they were students, but they were actually professors there to work with him. Okay. And this was where I had first made the connection of the whole gain of function thing. So I had been keeping an eye on that. And then when it had come to light that was more probably the answer, that it had fallen out of the lab that was like right there in the same area where like ground zero was, I started being like, all right, what's going on here? And my conclusion was that it was more like they were planning on using it later, and it honestly probably was just human error. It just like dropped out of there, and like they weren't anticipating this, and now this whole thing has been like a story that's been being made up on the spot, trying to like keep this like, oh shit, like we got to explain this now. Now we got to explain this. All right, now while they're dealing with that, we got to explain this. And it's just, I feel like that's like the progression of it. For this one, at least. Yeah,
okay. I have my own theories, but we'll keep it moving.
Yeah, this is like the biggest modern one right now. There's some in the past though too.
Yeah.
There's like I found out about this place called Tartaria, which is this civilization, this really big grand civilization that appears in ancient maps, like maps from like the 1500s. You'll find pictures of this place called Grand Tartary. And it expands over like all of Russia and like parts of China and like India and the Middle East, and like it's really big. And when you look into the history of it, like there are some people that have been like studying the ancient architecture of these places in like all over Europe, and they find that it's very similar designs. And basically, there's some people that would believe that this empire was buried in history because it had free energy. Right, so like this was the last, like the height of civilization was this place, right? Like they'll say now that we're like the smartest, most evolved people, but you look at some of the old structures and you're like, I don't know, man. Like they seem to have the right idea building stuff like that. They built stuff more sturdily. They built stuff more elegantly to like exemplify society. You know what I'm saying? Like the structures are an example of the society. You look at what we build now. It's like square and bland looking. All the houses look the same. But you look like 300, 400 years ago, back when like people barely had like usable toilets, and there was like everyone's dying of disease at like 35 and 40 or something like that. And they have these beautiful, symmetrical, the symmetry in these things are incredible.
Right.
These churches, these like just buildings in general. Like they have this beautiful symmetry and this beautiful architecture to it. And they would agree that it was made by the same people, right? And I forgot where I was going with this part.
No, just the fact.
I got lost here.
It's all good.
I was talking about how like they it was kind of like buried in history.
Yeah, Tartaria.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Tartaria.
And but did they particularly have great design?
Yes. They like, so basically like the only way you can make such beautiful structures is with highly advanced technology and understanding of the world and mathematics and stuff like that.
Right.
So like we can look back and say like, okay, so these people had it going on. They had a great idea. It's like, what happened to them?
Right.
And you look at like what was going on in like Europe with like the Vatican. They had feudalism and stuff like this. So like if you look at that old map, it's like you have like Grand Tartary. You got like the Mongol Empire kinda, and you got like China and Europe and Africa. But they all go by different names at the time. You got like Italy is like a country, like France is a country, England's a country, and all this stuff, and they're all like basically living on like slave labor essentially, you know. And then next to them is this grand, beautiful city with pristine white streets and you know, think of like Roman architecture, like all the beautiful clean white buildings, beautiful symmetry and all this stuff, free energy as well. So like they're like living it up in paradise. They got like what you would think is heaven on earth. And the gates of this place would be at St. Petersburg in Russia.
Right.
The gates of St. Peter's. It was like a metaphor. It's literally like heaven on earth, this place. You have free energy. No, there's no need to worry about like food and stuff like that because everyone's got enough to go around. And then next time you got England and they're like, work for me for money, or like, you can't eat. And like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm imagining when they, like, their plot was to take these people out and bury them in history. And then eventually these feudalists, or these people that wanted to like enslave everybody, they gained technology that they should not have gained a hold of, and they figured out how to wipe these people out using like, I don't know, maybe like direct energy weapon type stuff, like something that could...
You don't know for a fact, but...
Yeah, there's evidence of like a mud flood that came after that would wipe them out, but it's like what caused the mud flood. And it would be like a giant like lightning storm type thing. Like you could generate enough atmospheric energy and direct it onto a target. Right. Like almost like a satellite blast, but you don't need the satellite. You just need like what we already got in the atmosphere. Right. And so they would blast these things, and like if you see like how lightning hits the ground, it'll like liquefy some of the shit around it and leave like this beautiful like pyroclastic type rock material shit. Just gotta wipe my forehead, bro. It's hot in here.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. And no, I'm just rambling a lot about stuff. And like, so this mud would come up out the ground, right, on this lightning storm. It's been observed. And so basically the theory is like they somehow gained technology, and they like that they might have been using, like again, it's free energy. They were using probably atmospheric energy. If you look at the architecture and stuff, like all the buildings with the domes and the spires that point up at the sky, they were probably harvesting energy with all these buildings and shit, because they're tipped with gold at the top. That's a conductive metal. Yeah. And then like the symmetry, I think it has to do with the symmetry. I think the buildings needed to be symmetrical, otherwise it wouldn't work. Right. That's like the point behind the symmetry and all that stuff. Because you can make anything, like we proved that. You can make a structure not completely symmetrical. You look at some skyscrapers, the windows look crooked on them. The thing tilts like this and this. Some windows are bigger than other windows by like a little bit. Some of them are curved this way, some of them aren't curved that way. There's human error in them. But some of these old structures, there's no error. I don't think there could have been any room allowed for error. So they're harvesting free energy over here. And these guys said, like, okay, so they can harvest this energy. We probably could too, but let's not tell the peasants, right? Yeah. So they're like, oh my God like came and struck them with like a lightning storm. It was tragic. Really, they just like figured out how to generate enough power to wipe them out. And then this lightning smashes down, fries the buildings up, leaves all these like big canyons that are just like there for whatever reason that also happen to look like lightning storms. Like if you look at the Grand Canyon, bro, it looks like a lightning bolt hit it. Right. It looks like a giant lightning streak across the ground. Wow. It's so weird.
I'm gonna check that out. I want to see how that looks.
Look that one up. Look at the Grand Canyon from space or like whatever. It looks like a giant like lightning streak. It's freaking freaky as heck.
That's crazy. Now we spoke. You told me something about redheads were once royalty.
Yeah, yo, like, so I was...
Because we call you the ginger warrior. Because, you're the redhead. You actually called yourself that. But we run with it.
I always exemplified the red hair because when I was younger, they tried to make me feel like shit for having it.
Tell me, talk about that.
Try to make me feel like I was a runt for having red hair, kind of. That's how I generally felt. Right. Everyone gave me weird looks, but then again, I was looking like this. I had like this wiry red hair. Right. Like, it's not a typical look. So I was always interested in it.
When I first met you, I wasn't sure what nationality you were.
Yeah, that's been the problem with my life, man. Everyone always looks at me when they're like, I can tell like they can't figure it out right away, and I'm like, yo, it's okay. Like I'm just a ginger, all right, man. Like I understand. I look crazy.
All right, so what nationality are you?
I'm Italian, apparently.
Italian.
Yeah. Right. Officially, Okay. And I've looked into the history of red hair in Italy, and this is where it led me to this whole like royalty thing too, and like some weird like events in my life that like this that happened to me recently where I was like, this might confirm it. Yeah. Right? Like some weird like random chance shit. I'll get into that later, but like I was like looking into like old Roman families and stuff like that because I was into all like the royal families of Rome and shit and how they're still kind of like pulling the strings of some stuff nowadays. They just like married in and changed their names. Right. Topic for a different time because that's like a whole hour's conversation.
We can get into all that stuff
for real. And like I was looking into all this stuff, and I found this thing called the White Brotherhood,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently it's this old like Italian that you would think like white power type stuff. No. This is where they got you. They're trying to keep these guys under wraps. The White Brotherhood. This is an ancient group. I don't know if they're still running shit now, but like it's alleged that they were there when Rome was founded. Like when this dude Minos the Crete. That's the guy who apparently founded the great civilization, the Empire of Rome, and they were there when he was there.
Right.
And they were, as they described them, you can look this one up, they have fair skin, red hair, and hazel or green eyes.
Right.
And I was like, what you mean? And that's like an old, ancient Italian family. So I was like...
Now that I look at you, right? Like those statues of the guys with like the kind of curly hair.
Yeah, bro.
Like you look like one.
My girlfriend tells me that all the time.
So I'm looking at you right now. I'm like, wait a minute.
I look like St. Augustine or something like that, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool. So
I'm so glad you mentioned that, man.
That's so funny because as you're telling me about this, I'm like, wait a minute. I started picturing those statues and I'm like, wait.
Yeah, so like apparently ancient Italians were founded by a society of red-haired people.
Right.
So that was like the first thing that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I guess that would make sense. I was like, what are the chances that I'm descendant? I was like, I can't think like that. That's so egotistical, But then I was
it's totally possible.
Yeah, then I was like, what are the chances that like the red hair is just like a sign at one point of like nobility in Italy?
Yeah.
And then one time, I'm going to a 7-Eleven, right? I'm going to buy myself some coffee. It's probably like 7, 8 in the morning, bro.
Right.
And I'm walking up to the door and this lady's coming out. And she stopped me and she goes, I really like your hair. And I was like, like at first you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what do you mean? Like I'm bedhead. I got like this craggly looking thing on my head. Yeah. I have this crazy coily hair. I'm like, all right, well, thank you. And she goes, no, I don't think you understand. She goes, like, do you understand like what the significance of that is? And I was like, I'm just a ginger. Like I was so confused. I was like, it's like 8 in the morning. I haven't had my coffee, man. This is a 7-Eleven.
I know how you are
aware
in
of
the
that.
morning.
I'm so bro. I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, I must work. Like it's so bad. I get to the gym and I'm like, let's do this. And then I wake up.
That's
but
it.
She's telling me all this like crazy stuff. In Haiti, apparently, a long, long time ago, the red hair was revered and it was a sign of royalty.
Right.
And then when the power changed, they would hunt them down and they scalped them.
Wow.
That's what she was telling me. She's like, if you lived in Haiti in ancient times, they would have scalped you. And I was like, thank you. Can I have my coffee now? This is a 7-Eleven, man.
That's crazy.
And then...
So they would scalp them?
Yeah, they hunt them down, and they scalp them, and they would keep their scalps as like a sign, like this is ours now. You can't ever have it back. It's like they're taking it from them.
Right.
And they were black. They were black, and they had red hair.
Damn.
And I've met some African Americans that have like ginger features in them too. I know this guy who has a red beard. He has like black hair but a red beard.
Right.
I'm like that shouldn't even be possible. That's so cool.
No, it is cool.
You can see it prevalent in some
It's just
people.
in your DNA.
Yeah, a little bit.
Genes. Somewhere down the line, it was in their DNA and it popped up in that person.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah. It
You
just
know,
keeps,
a lot of
recycled.
us, of what we have, our knowledge comes from past.
Yes, definitely.
So deep. And we don't realize, how do we know that already? Because we learned it.
It's up there. It's all in this atmosphere. It's in that energy source.
It's in our DNA. Our DNA goes back a long time.
I'm talking the soul, like when you move on to past life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What happens when we die?
What happens when we die, man? Like, this is I can't say because I haven't died, obviously.
Right. No, but you just mentioned something about that, so that's why I touched on it.
Like maybe there's
Oh, you don't know. You don't have a theory on that.
I got some ideas. Like, right. I think this world was designed to teach us a lesson. Yeah. Like I like to say that we're a spiritual, not a spiritual. We're like an energetic or a spiritual being having a physical experience. Mm-hmm. You know, like, and this is just one of the many realms that we could inhabit. There's probably like maybe better ones, maybe worse ones where you learn a more harsh lesson. You know, but I think each one's designed to elevate the spirit. You know, it's all about ascension, about becoming more. Mm-hmm. You know, I think like the material gets in the way of that. It's like you got to look in between, kind of. You know, and there's just more out there.
So much.
And like when we leave this physical shell, you don't die. You don't just go nowhere. I think you just leave this physical shell. I think this one, and if you didn't learn your lesson, I think it just gets recycled. Like you can't ascend on if you didn't ascend on this one.
If you didn't grow.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you, like the people that have ascended, they're just like on the other side waiting for us to figure it out. They're like, guys, come on, you guys got to like figure it out with us. We can't give you the answers. We can show you like hints, and I think they can like definitely like see our world from like where they are. They're probably vibrating at a significantly higher frequency than us. Like so much like they can control their frequency. Probably they can vibrate at and vibrate into different realities and shit like this. Because like all of life is like vibration. All color is vibration. And vibration is just sound. Well, we have a vibration you can measure. Like our heart resonates at a certain frequency. Our lungs at a frequency. Everything's a frequency. And I think they just, whatever's on the other side of that, they are like the higher beings. They just like are they've manipulated their own frequencies to a point where they can phase in between realms. And really what this is like when you die, you just hit a different vibrational frequency and your energy fluctuates differently and your frequency goes somewhere else and you just go to a different one. Like maybe like somewhere else where it's better, or maybe you get sent down where it's worse.
Right.
You know, a little bit of that heaven and hell dynamic, but there's like maybe like different levels of like heaven and hell.
You know, they say, I believe this. I believe that anything that you can conceive mentally is a possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you could say it and think it, it's a possibility. And
it's already happened.
You know, it could have happened, you know, or it could happen. But I feel that's very real. I feel that's very true.
Yeah. Like what is a thought after all? That image you see of that happening.
How did you think?
Where did that even come from?
How did you create that thought? How did you put that together?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Because if you think about it, us being here in this room right now is a miracle.
Yeah.
Us having this life experience is a miracle.
Very much so.
Because this is something that is absolutely amazing. Life in general is something, it's just unfathomably amazing. It's so dope.
Yeah.
So to think about the fact that there's even life, right? If you could say something and it's something that's outlandish, it's still something that could be so possible. I'm just, because however we could conceive what afterlife is or whatever the case may be, anything's a possibility. Anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so people can't look at anything anybody says and be like, "Oh, that's crazy," because it's really not. They don't really know. Nobody knows.
It's just what I believe.
What you said makes sense. It does absolutely make sense because you're right about frequencies and how we resonate. You know, how our body reacts to certain tones, sounds.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? Healing sounds. And then there's sounds that don't vibrate with us, right? And they probably hurt us.
Yeah, it makes you angry maybe. Like you can look up how like certain sounds physically affect little micro strings in the brain that like goes like ding, ding, ding. You could be played like a freaking piano.
Absolutely. That's why
like, literally
television programming, you know.
Very, very smart stuff. It preys on that stuff.
They put sounds in movies to make you feel scared,
on edge. Yeah, scary movies make you go like paranoid and like
right, because they could program. They know how to manipulate the body, the mind.
They've tested it thoroughly.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. That's what like you look at how movies have evolved. It's almost like if you look at it like it was a test, it still makes sense how they evolved.
Yeah.
Each time they got a test on an audience, what worked on the audience. You know, it's not like. It wouldn't be too crazy or conspiratorial to even say that they experiment on us via movies because it literally is. It'd be like, how is the public going to react to this?
Yeah.
Once they got that, then now they got some information. They can fine tune it and zero in on what we react to.
Yeah.
The reaction's what they want. And once you get good at that, you can play them like a piano.
Easy. Easy.
No, but it's you mentioned like the healing frequencies.
Yeah.
I'm actually really into all of this stuff. Again, I'm gonna go back to the whole thing with cathedrals and churches. In those churches, you have these grand organs, right?
Right.
Beautiful sound, something so serene, right? And it's been shown in certain studies, even modern studies, that if you take a certain frequency, like a healing frequency of some sort, and you amplify it through a precious metal, such as like silver, gold, or bronze. Again, what these pipe organs are made out of, these illustrious, beautiful pipe organs that play these songs. Well, like what you got there is kind of like a recipe for healing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially if you can play the right frequencies. So it's just about the knowledge.
Right.
The tool is there.
Right.
That stuff's out there. It's just we don't know what the frequencies and how to play them in certain ways would be.
Right.
Like you probably could heal certain things like doing that.
Absolutely. So if you go on YouTube, I don't know if everything on there is legit, but I'm sure there's some type of truth to what they say. There are multiple videos on there that healing frequencies, healing your pineal gland from being calcified.
Yes.
So you play these tones at night, and it's supposed to help you heal your brain, help you sleep better, help you open up your mind a little bit more. So I believe in that because I started practicing that years ago once I learned about my pineal gland. The pineal gland is supposedly, because I don't know if anything's truly a fact.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're just entertaining. I'm just entertaining this idea right now too, because again, we don't really know anything.
Right, but a lot of it makes sense. So you look, the pineal gland is supposed to be your connection to your higher power. So
yes.
Boom. So they say that they put fluoride in our water to
calcify that.
To calcify it and dumb us down, to make us more like
Because
obedient.
If you don't have that access to the higher place, you're not getting the right information.
Right. So
again,
then you become obedient. You become obedient to what you see on TV.
Mm-hmm. That becomes your
higher power. Right?
Yeah, that becomes your higher power.
Facts.
Exactly.
So that's why I was like, yo, you know what? I was always in tune. I'm always in tune, connected to my higher power, always. But I'm like, you know what? I want to resonate even higher. Snap. Fine tuning the pineal gland.
These frequencies,
these and I would literally go to sleep to them, and my dreams would be more clear, better dreams, vivid. I would wake up with a better mindset, attitude. I'm like, wait, this is either this is placebo, and I'm putting my mind into this frame that it's going to help me, and it does, or it really works.
Yeah, it's one of those two options. Either you're like playing a trick on your own mind, like, oh, I'm listening to this music that's going to help elevate myself and go to sleep with it, which that in and of itself is like, it's like you're like actualizing right there. You're manifesting that alone, and it just proves that manifestation works, right? So that's already something beautiful and powerful that you should take in as itself. But even if it is a trick, I mean, even if it's not a trick, then it's like we should have just been doing this stuff the whole time.
Right.
Putting
yourself in a positive position to grow.
Yes.
Thinking about, how can I elevate at all times?
Yes, using these healing frequencies too. It's like pregnant women when they're pregnant with a child, they say listen to like classical music and stuff like that, like music with good frequencies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the lullaby music.
Lullabies,
yes.
yes.
It's crazy because when my daughter was born, my first child, even my son I did this with too, but we would all put lullaby music on in the bedroom and everybody would sleep like babies. And it was beautiful. It was like we did Mozart lullaby.
Yes, that's good. That's very good.
It was, I'm telling you, so the frequencies, they helped heal the kid, babies go to bed easier. Even I slept better. We would play it in front of the belly when she was pregnant, and I think that helps too, maybe have them grow better inside. You never know. I mean, look, we're getting a little deep on frequencies, but it's all good stuff.
It's all theory. It's all experimentation. It's like I look at it like everything like an experiment. Like if you took 100 children from birth and gave them like good healing frequencies every day of their life for like their entire life, what would the effect be? We don't know because no one's tried it.
Right.
And it's like imagine like the world of possibilities if we really invested something into that. Yeah. Like how the frequencies affect the brain from birth and play on that. Imagine how much higher we could elevate people then.
Yeah.
It's in the kids, man. Start elevating the kids like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know. I just find this stuff really fascinating because like I really believe in it. I listen to the frequencies myself and I go, oh, it like really hits like certain, like one frequency hits your chest, one kind of hits your throat, the other one hits like up here, rings up in the top of the head. Sometimes a bassier one rings in the stomach of the chest.
Now let me ask you a question. Where do you find these? How do you do it?
I looked up like the frequency of like the major organs of the body. And then I compared that with the frequencies of the chakras and the frequencies that the organs vibrate at and the frequencies that they recommend for the chakras are all like, it's like a mathematical equation. They're all like divisible into each other.
And where do you find this?
You can look it all up online, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, all of these things are available online. Some of them are bullshit, but some of them, like, you can really feel the effect on it. Like,
There's
when
apps.
When it is. Yeah.
The apps where you could pick the number of the frequency you want to play.
Oh, I don't know about any of the apps.
There are.
I'm so uninvested in all that stuff.
Well, look into the apps. Look into frequency apps.
Yeah.
And then it actually tells you like this frequency is for this frequency, and play it.
Sick.
You put them in your headphones, and it like vibrates. Each ear vibrates at a different frequency to make this create that one frequency, which is supposed to stimulate you in certain ways or heal you in certain ways. So look that up. You know, okay. I'll leave on below in the description a couple links to some frequency apps if you guys are interested in just studying that and learning more about it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I didn't know that there was like an app for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
The only thing I did know is that like it's they say like 430, you have a 432 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
I always try and like find a converter for that, and I try to like listen to as much music as I can that's already been recorded in that, because I can hear the difference. I can tell what the difference is. It's a symmetrical difference. It's like how evenly the music plays out with everything, how it's balanced and all that. The beat, like when the beat hits, you're gonna feel it. Is it that beat that like makes you feel a bit more balanced, or is it something that's gonna make you
right?
Like when I get angry, I start nodding my head. Mm-hmm. That's that like beat that's like that 440 hertz.
Right. We don't know. You don't know exactly, but
like every now and then, like when I'll hear that, then I'll hear like a certain beat and just make me like like some songs too.
So you know that artist that passed away, I don't know, he was killed.
Triple X.
Right. So he spoke a lot about frequency in music.
Yeah, he did.
He spoke all about it.
Actually, you're right about that.
Always. He said, when I make my music to a frequency. I understand frequencies. You see, and that's what makes me different. So, like, look up that, too, because he knew how to resonate and touch you through his frequencies.
Yeah, I got to look at
deep stuff, man. He was deep.
I didn't know he was that deep into it.
Very deep. That's why he was successful, because he was
deep. They killed him, too.
They killed him, right?
Yeah.
Who killed him?
I think he got robbed.
He got robbed. Oh, he was the one that got robbed. He was like buying a car or something.
Yeah, someone of them got robbed and got.
But he was very influential. He was very influential.
Young kids, especially, were really into him.
And he was very. How do you say it? He was influential. He was influential on them.
Empowering, if anything, man.
Right.
He made the weird ones feel at home, and he was like bringing the normies over to his side too. Like everyone was like really joining sides with him.
Yeah.
You know, and that I think that kind of is, again, like you said, he understands the frequencies.
And he had a good message.
I think that says something. You know, I think he really did understand those frequencies. He got fans from every walk of life.
Yeah, it's crazy how when you have so much influence and you have so much effect on millions, most of the time you don't last here.
Yeah.
You know?
The big ones, man, like the mega hits. Like you know who Juice WRLD was?
Yeah.
Juice WRLD was another one, man. Like I think every single person my age, or like if like within the age, like the deviation of like 3 years, maybe 4 years, especially high school kids, man. Right there is where it gets big.
He's another one.
He was a legend.
Another
He's like I hate to say it, he's like the modern day version of like Biggie Pac type thing.
Did he have a message?
Yeah, he had a message.
What was his message?
Depression ain't gonna beat you.
He wanted to uplift people.
Yeah, he wanted to uplift people. He really did. He wanted to make people like feel something. That's what it is, man. Like any kind of music that like makes you think and feel.
Yeah.
The artist just goes. Michael Jackson, man.
He was trying to change the world.
He was. Michael Jackson. Prince.
Yeah.
Prince was trying to change the world, man. They again, another one, they offed him. Like Kurt Cobain, again, like big influence on the younger generation. And then apparently he like toe barrels the shotgun and like, you ever see the picture of the shotgun that killed him?
No, yeah, I might have years ago.
It's like ridiculous. It's like a 4 foot long shotgun, and they're like, he pulled the trigger like this. It's like you can't even reach the trigger with the barrel in your mouth.
Yeah.
So people like make a joke. They're like, well, how do you kill himself, with his foot? And I'm like, maybe, but like then you don't find any of his shoes off there. So it's like, how do you pull that trigger?
Right.
And that's like probably the craziest one they ever got away with. They killed Kurt Cobain in cold blood, and they said he killed himself.
It's just so crazy, man. How, you know, that's another conspiracy. Why do these influential young celebrities that have a message always get offed? I know why, but we won't get too deep.
Yeah, you know,
Won't
they
get too deep.
start off on the status quo and then they deviate and they say no more. No more on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what else do you want to talk about?
Well, you know, you're the guest, so I mean, you got a tournament coming up in a couple months. We're gonna get ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
You're a trainer here at the gym now. You've been doing an amazing job.
I've been loving that too, man.
Yeah.
That's been a dream of mine for a while too.
You know, it's funny how you became it at Blake's fight in Staten Island. No, Coney Island.
Coney, yes.
We went to dinner. We ate afterwards. You and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And hello to your girlfriend.
Yeah. Shout out. Hi, baby.
You know, we had a good time, and I just threw it out there. I'm like, wait, Sam, would you ever want to run classes and be a trainer? And you were like, hell yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I would love to do that kind of stuff, man.
I didn't know, but I always knew you had it in. You got a great personality. You know boxing. And I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, I'm always I try to not be personable, but just like be myself.
Yeah, and that's all you have to be.
It always works.
Yeah, no, it worked, and you're doing it great. Everybody loves you. Your classes are a hit.
It's good to hear.
Yeah,
that really brings joy to my heart, man. That's all I want. I want to like be a part of the community, do my thing. Yeah. You know, be a source of energy for the community. I feel like every community needs like a source of energy, like someone to just like get things going. Like I can already see myself now. I don't own a house right now, but I can already see myself. I'm gonna be that person that's gonna pull up on every neighbor's door, like, "What's up, neighbor?
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing? I'm your neighbor now. What's happening? We're gonna be friends. We're gonna do things in the community."
But that's how it should be. That's how life should be. Everybody should be like that.
I always had like so much energy ever since I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
I could never contain that kind of stuff. Probably had to kick me out.
What?
Yeah, I got kicked out when I was young, man.
How old?
I was in third grade.
Your parents kicked you out?
No, I got kicked out of school.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn.
No, man,
that's deep.
I don't know. I'd be crying about that, man. Shit, no.
So you got kicked out of school in third grade?
Yeah. I got kicked out. I was a little asshole, man.
Were you?
My parents will tell you. They'll
tell
you I
was bad.
the worst. I was the worst. I was a fucking devil. I really was.
Were you?
Yeah, I had like
the problem child, the real life problem.
On the
child.
real, like Jake Paul ain't got shit on me, man. I could. If I had Jake Paul's platform, I'd make you all so much madder.
That's so funny, man.
I would.
So how'd you go back to school?
I got back to school in like high school.
Wait, time out. So third grade, you got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Then where'd you go? How'd you learn?
I went to different schools. I just bounced around.
Really?
I got kicked out of the district, I should say more so, not school itself. They said like
you way too bad.
They literally said we don't want to deal with them anymore. They said he has like behavioral issues, and they said like we're not doing it.
What school was that?
This is South Country School District. They didn't want to do it anymore.
Shout out to South Country for giving up on my boy.
Yeah, and they were being assholes to me too. So my mom was like, yo, fuck you guys. I'm like, we're gonna go try and like find like a situation for him. And I was like, okay. So then I went all over. I went to Floyd in 4th grade. I went to Longwood in like 5th grade. Port Jeff in 6th. I went to, I think, Brentwood for like a whole year.
Wow.
Was it Brentwood or Comstock?
Damn.
It was like Brentwood or Comstock, one of those two. You know, like they're in the same, you know, they're like right next to each other.
Okay.
But like I couldn't remember if it was considered Brentwood or if I just associated with seeing the Brentwood sign every time I went there.
Right.
But I think it was in Brentwood.
So you bounced around from schools.
Yeah.
How was your experience at these different schools? Was it?
It was varied. It was very interesting.
Right.
Because I'd be in like different, like sometimes I'd just be in like a class with like 30 other people I didn't know. And then sometimes I'd be in there with like 4 people. And I was just 4 people in this class. And like we'd all be like,
yeah.
I'd just be like, what are you guys here for? It's like, it was like the weirdest fucking thing. And it was really weird because we had our own security guards for us.
Right.
And like they would come in, they would drop your ass, man. They would hold you down.
Yeah.
Like I remember I tried struggling one time because I was like trying to fight this kid in class, and they came in and they dropped me on the ground and I could not move. I'm trying to fight them for like 10 minutes. They're just holding me there.
Oh, you were bad.
I was like, no, I want to go. I don't want to go. I was like screaming because like they just take you away and throw you in like a room isolated by yourself. Oh, wow. That was the punishment. You just go and be by yourself for like an hour. I was like, this is like insanity. What the fuck? You just put me in solitary confinement. Yeah. Fuck you, assholes. You know. But like, that was Floyd. That was Floyd. Floyd was the weirdest one because they had that going there.
Yeah, Floyd don't play.
Floyd really don't play with that shit. Longwood was weird. I remember one time I was in the bathroom there and this kid, I think he had like the low functioning autism, where like you need
Okay.
like you need like an assistant to help you. And I'm in the bathroom, and this motherfucker came in there, and he didn't even wait to get to the urinal. He just took his pants off. He like entered the bathroom, threw his pants off, and I was like, huh? I took shelter in the stall because I was confused. I was like, man, what's going on? I thought this was like the bathroom. This guy's got his dick out. I was like, I'm like in 7th grade. I'm like, that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody else's dick. I was like, this is not what I was like. This is not the experience I came here for today. I'm just trying to pee, man. And I just waited for him to leave. And then they started getting mad because I was taking too long. And I was like, you guys didn't just see the dude with his dick out? Like, oh my God, that shit was crazy.
That's crazy.
And Port Jeff was where the worst kids were.
Oh, yeah?
Port Jeff, those kids, it was a melting pot. There was like a bunch of kids there.
Crustified Dibs.
What was that?
R.A. the Rugged Man. I think he grew up out there in Port Jeff. He used to hang out. Oh, famous rapper from Long Island.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look him up. You'll love him. R.A. the Rugged Man. Shout out to R.A. He's like family.
Shout out R.A.
Yeah. So Port Jeff was the weirdest, the craziest one?
Yeah, that was the craziest one.
Yeah?
Everyone went there. A lot of, that was like a hub.
Okay.
So like there was like majority of the kids would be going to this place, and that was the one that was a little more scary. That one was kind of freaky. That one was like you had to watch like when you were going to the bathroom, because that one was like you could get, if you like, you didn't want to fuck with these people. Like they would do things for you to like react to it, and then as soon as you like react negatively, then they'd be like, yo, you got a problem with it?
Right.
I'd like, oh my God, now I
So
fell for the trap. Shit. I
yeah,
shouldn't
you
have
were
complained.
tested. You were tested a lot there.
Yes, yeah, I was tested a lot. It tested me.
Right.
You know, and I had like a friend there who was kind of like, it was like a love-hate relationship. I guess it was like I was weak, he was strong, and he was trying to teach me how to be strong. I look at it like that now, but at the time I was like, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, but he tolerates me.
Right.
You know, because like I had such a lower opinion of myself at that time, too.
Right.
I'd just gotten kicked out of school and all this stuff, and I was like, I'm the fucking weirdo in the world.
Right.
I hate it. It gave me such a bitter outlook on life.
Right,
for,
because
like, such a
that could
long
mold
time.
you. That could mold you. Like when people tell you you're not good enough or you're bad, you're this, then you start believing
Yeah,
that's
you're
who you
different. You start thinking like, is it me? Like, like, am I one of those people that's like, am I a problem?
are. Right.
Like, and then that like weighed heavy on me for a while. Like,
When did you overcome that?
not till like college, man.
Yeah.
This shit just weighed on me. Felt like they were trying to put me in like a prison in my mind. Like I knew that I was more capable, but like it was like being a part of this whole system made me feel incapable. I was like, I guess I'm just like the pieces of bread. I'm that booty piece of bread, man. That's what I felt like. I felt like that end piece of bread that nobody fucking wants.
Yeah.
And they just like, they keep going right past me. Like, oh, let me get the better piece of bread over there. That's what I felt like at first.
Right.
And, you know, it didn't help that I looked like this. Because, like, I'm looking around and I'm like, no one else fucking looks like this, man. It was like, yo, we all made avatars at the beginning of this. Like a video game avatar.
Yeah.
We're all up in heaven making an avatar. And I'm like, I'm going to make mine look like this.
Yeah.
But nobody else made theirs look like that. And now I'm over here like, yo, what the fuck, guys? Why'd I make it look like this? Oh, God. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you felt. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, when you're looking around, like no one else has, like, this crazy curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest issue. Was my mom just kept cutting my fucking hair. She had no idea what to do with it. She's like, it looks bad. Comb it. I'd comb it, and I'd come back out. She goes, no, I said comb it. I'd be like, this isn't combed. It was like I got set up with a trap, man.
You can't comb it, Mom.
Yeah.
You should have just did the Kid and Play, the high top, boom, boom.
Eventually, I got there. That was college, where I was like, you know, fuck you. I got curly hair. Deal with it. You know,
rock it.
It took me a while to like really like get into it, because it's for so long I was like, it has to be a bad thing.
Right.
Like, it looks bad on me. I was just always told, everyone in my family, man, they always roasted me for shit.
Oh yeah.
Always.
So you're the only one in your family with the ginger.
No, I'm one of 3 gingers actually.
Okay, 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
the other ginger. Oh my God, you gotta see my little brother, bro.
Oh yeah.
He's got the super ginger beard.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's like, he just turned 20, I think.
Okay. He's nice.
Just turned 20.
He's
younger.
He's an adult now.
Yeah, but he's a big boy. Oh
Yeah.
my God, he's like me. He's like 2 of me, bro.
Does he feel like you? That whole ginger mindset, like he's an outcast, kind of. He feels like that.
Yeah, we're all like that.
Really?
If you met my sister, you'd be like,
When you come here though to the gym, do you feel like that?
yeah.
You feel no way.
Yeah, 100%.
For real?
I'm used to it.
But I try to.
No, it's not like you guys making me feel a certain way.
Oh, okay.
I just go.
I don't look at you like that, or I just no at all.
No, I'm just like really aware that like I'm
Don't be.
different. I'm just different.
Yeah, but don't be, because I don't think anybody here like looks at you like you're different.
No, of course not. Like I'll explain it like this. When I was in like high school, I was dating this girl, and like her dad gave me this really interesting piece of advice. I still think about it now. Obviously, it had to stick with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he said, he said,
Damn, time out.
yeah. So and he told me, you know.
Wait, hold up. So
Yeah, let's
recap. One of your girlfriend's fathers
from a long time ago. I was 18.
18 years old.
18 years old.
Okay,
I'm
go ahead.
getting ready to leave high school, and I had always felt this way. I always felt like an outcast type thing. Like, you know, it was like my thing.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, I get to be different. This is cool. Whatever, I guess.
Right.
You know, but he flipped the script on me. I'd always be like, I don't fit in anywhere, man. He said, or maybe you fit in everywhere. You just don't know what to do with yourself.
Right.
And I was like, maybe that's what it is. So now I just kind of accept it. Like, I'm like, I fit in everywhere because I have like a little bit of everything. I'm well-rounded. And it also means, and I have to accept this, I'm not going to fit in perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, I'm okay with it. I really am. You know,
Good.
like, I look at myself like the fool in Shakespeare's play. You know?
Yeah.
You're never going to understand the fool. But, like, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at y'all, and I'm just as entertained by you guys as you are of me.
Absolutely.
That's what it really is.
At the end of the day, we all have that. You know what I mean? There's something about all of us that we feel like maybe we don't fit in here or there, but that's just life. We just gotta be confident in ourselves and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's it. Make friends with everybody, and you keep those that like you closer, and keep those that don't gel with you far away. Simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that. But we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, it's getting hot, but I'm so glad you came down.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's always great to give a perspective on everybody's life and their perspective on life to the world. You're a boxer. You're exciting. I hope everybody follow my boy Sam. His tag's gonna be below. Hit him up. Let him know what you thought about the podcast. If you have any questions for him, hit him up. And guys, listen. Always be confident. Chase your dreams. Set goals. Okay. Don't live being amongst the ordinary. Be great, okay? Life is short. Play hard and love hard. We out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Amen.
Peace.